Buddy, today I'm going to introduce you to Tedcrypto. He is a validator on the Cosmos. Welcome, Ted. It's nice to see you.
Hello, James. Thanks for having me.
Nice to chat to you again, actually. Yeah, so I've just got loads of questions I want to ask you about the Cosmos today. Things that are going on, what you're up to, all your life choices, whether they're good or bad, the market crash, all the magic that's going on right now.
Yeah, it's been like a very rough couple of weeks for some. I wouldn't say that has happened with Ted. Actually, Tedcrypto has been like it's very nice weeks for me because I've been receiving. I've been receiving a lot of. I've been receiving actually a lot of support from the community and validators alike. So that's actually was very good for me.
The 1%.
So. Yeah, probably. So, basically we got some support from Friends Validator, and they put us to the active set on the Evmos, which was one of the big chains that we wanted to be part of. So,
great.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, the validator community seems very friendly on the Cosmos. Well, to a large extent, anyway. So yeah, I've just got a load of questions to ask you, some that I've formulated and some that people from both my feed on Twitter and my feed on Reddit have asked. So just going to go ahead and just see what's going on, yeah?
Go for it, yep.
So let's just start with, you've pretty much answered the first question, well, part of it. Who are you validating for right now on the Cosmos then?
So when we first started, we probably created a lot of validators validating a lot of chains because it's so easy to start a node. But as soon as the more time I spent validating, it became obvious to me that the type of validator that I want to be, it doesn't. Basically, I shouldn't be doing that because I wouldn't be participating on proposals of some of the chains, etc. So I actually, some of the nodes that I currently have on, which is in an active set, is not there. I'm not even promoting them. I will probably just stop them, and I won't be validating some of the projects like Regen, etc. There's a couple of others chains that I won't be participating of now. My top ones would probably be Cerberus, the NFT project. So because it was very easy to participate, and it was one of the projects that I actually enjoyed because it was so open and so friendly and easy to interact, and so it was easy to start a node there. Then came off Bitsong Validator, Evmos recently. Nomic, we actually went to the active set just a couple of days ago, thanks to Rodden Ratio Stakeo.
Oh, Gordon Ratio.
So,
yeah. Great guy.
So basically, again, last week we got a lot of support from the other validators and community. So then actually Gordon just approached me saying that he had been seeing me in the tweet, and I think because our ideas and feelings, all a validator should be, etc., were very aligned. He said, like, I'm gonna delegate with you and help you on Nomic and put you on the active set. So this was amazing. So Nomic, I would say those are the top four for now.
Okay. So you've decided to kind of stop focusing on the many and concentrate on the few that you want to be part of. So we're looking at Evmos, we're looking at Nomic, we're looking at Cerberus, and the fourth one, was
Bitsong.
Bitsong.
Yeah.
Yes, I did make a video on most of those actually, apart from Nomic, the Gravity Bridge, right?
Yeah, I should actually mention Stargaze as well. So
Stargaze.
With align with the Dawn, Kryptonian, and Bad Kids. I'm helping those guys with a node there. So yeah, I'm also validating, but not under Tedcrypto name, but I'm also helping them with a node there.
Oh, great! So you've got your fingers in a few little pies, then a few little little pies on the Cosmos. That's what it's all about. I like to dip my finger in all the Cosmos pies as well. So I think you're doing well there. All right, so some questions then about the old setup of this validator game. How on earth would you even get into it? Like, what would the initial investment be? Where do you begin?
It's a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. So even for Cerberus, when they first started, was probably one of the rookie mistakes that we did. So basically, Tedcrypto is me, mainly me, giving the face and tweaking and hacking on behind, maintaining the nodes, coding, creating scripts, etc. And then there is my friend and cousin, which helps me with investments. So he has been in crypto for a long time. He knows really well how to read tokenomics and white papers and all that stuff. So basically on Cerberus, we went there like, we are putting our name out there. We need to do some sort of investments. Okay, let's do some investments. And we end up doing like, I don't know, 2,000 euros or something like that in Cerberus, which was, and the price came like down,
massively, yep.
And it's not one of those projects that is going to, it's not like their NFT project, etc. is like to the late of the year. So it was like a massive investment on the beginning because the price was very high at the beginning. And a lot of, because all the validators, it felt like that way. So a lot of validators was also participating and trying to be on the active set. So they were also obviously investing as well. And so yeah, we put a lot of money there on the beginning and to remain on the active set, and didn't work really well. But now if you go to, for example, let's take Juno, for example. So they increased the validator set. We thought, me and my cousin, we thought, okay, maybe that's a nice time to start a validator there. But the thing is, on first day would require something about, I would say, $3,000 of investment. A couple hours, just in a couple of hours, would like $5,000 of investment just to stay on the very last position of the active set. And the next day was like 10,000, and the next day was like 30,000, and like kept increasing very fast.
How about now with the market? Has it reduced considerably to get on the active set?
To be honest, I didn't went to see what it would take to be on the to reach the active set on Juno. But there was a time that was around 70K. So 70K, and it was a lot of, it was obviously is a very high investment to do by a.
And not only that, you have to have a certain degree of belief in the project as well. And yeah, I mean, with the losses, you did start out on investing in a meme coin, so obviously that was a huge gamble from the beginning. We know what meme coins are all about, don't we?
I basically Tedcrypto had to make a name and had to make a stand. And I think Cerberus was perfect to test some of our applications, so like Ted Lotto, and it was perfect. I don't actually regret doing that. Was a very nice, because it actually promoted our application, and it was a very nice proof of concept, and it worked. It passed. So
I mean, you got to start somewhere, and that's good to get a foot in the door and like see if you can actually make a run of it, and see if it's viable and feasible for future production. And you've already identified clearly that that's the path that you want to go down, and you are pushing forward with that. So it's great. You have to start somewhere, so I'm never against that, even if it's starting with a meme coin. I do love that idea. All right, so let's imagine that Cerberus did stay the same. How would you calculate your returns on, for example, the 2,000 that you put into Cerberus?
To be honest, we got it to the point, like we are trying to promote the brand. Is going to be, we know that there won't be too much profit right now. Everything that we invested, because me and my cousins, basically we have side jobs as well, so
yes,
we work and do sort of investments, and we don't need the tokens. That's something that is different from many of the validators. So right now, everything that we earn, we stake it on our validator again. Yes. So I actually have some scripts on GitHub that I created, and I try to promote with some validators. Actually, Bitsong is using my script to their founding delegations DAO concept, but they're basically like trying to I will delegate with you if you promise that you are going to put your rewards back into your validator or something like that. So I basically did a script that does that. That basically is automatically. So the script goes into the validator, grabs the rewards, and stake those rewards in your validator.
It makes sense. It builds up your own initial investment and hopefully goes you up. Makes you move up a few pegs in the actual system.
Yeah. Basically, Tedcrypto is on that position. So we are trying to improve our position in chains, promoting the brand. Right now, we are not even selling any crypto, not any rewards, and doing these small investments, trying to promote Tedcrypto and create the community and all that stuff. So
yeah, understandable. So your background is in tech, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've been a programmer since, I don't know, 16, when I was a little boy, 16 years old. So I basically started, I was always very good with computers. I was like very nerdy and geek. So I started actually programming very early with Python, Java, Visual Code, some of the very early languages. I basically started like selling websites as well. So I coded for making websites for other people. And then I got to the university. I actually didn't conclude at university. I got a job offer on my second year for a developer. And I accepted. I was not being very, but I just accepted. I just wanted to make money.
Mark Zuckerberg, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, and I grew up quite a bit in the coding, and then I went to UK. I had some jobs there as well, and currently I'm working for a UK company as well.
Yes. That's good to hear. Yeah. It's good to hear that you're in gainful employment as well. Yeah, I mean, I love the Cosmos as well, but I've certainly got to keep a full-time job on the side to make sure we've got to keep mining that fiat, haven't we? Just growing that fiat currency, making sure we're diversifying our portfolio, not just investing in crypto, but keeping our investments in lots of different things so that we don't end up having it all in crypto during a crash, which is unfortunately what a lot of people are going through at the moment, particularly with the stablecoin crash in Luna. That's knocked a lot of people back, and I do feel very, very sad about that, especially with the new allegations that are coming out. I don't know if you've seen those, but we'll get into that another time. All right, moving forward then. So what interested you in the actual validator scene then on the Cosmos? What made you think, all right, I'm going to drop $2,000 into this dog meme coin token, and let's see where the party goes?
Yeah, so actually, to explain that one, I'll probably need to go back a little bit. So we first started Tedcrypto to try to promote financial language and knowledge here in Portugal, because we felt like crypto was really good, and there was a lot of potential profit from there. And we wanted to because we spoke even with our friends here in Portugal, and most of them doesn't know what crypto is, and is easily associated with some dark cult that no one wants to.
Yeah. I've heard all of that.
To touch. So basically, Tedcrypto started there. We tried to try the community here in Portugal. We had some projects like Helium, Planet Watch, and other some rigs as well. So we had an Ethereum rig and a Flex rig. Those more like hardware and proof of work and proof of coverage consensus. And obviously, it just took a little time to know about proof of stake and what it involved, etc. So it didn't take us too long to get to Cosmos, because we were already investing in Atom. So obviously, I started right there. I read some of the tech code, and I read some Cosmos SDK, and I read how easy it was to just start the node.
Yeah.
And I why not? Probably we could use it. We can start our own validator for our own community. we already have some Portuguese people, so maybe we could benefit from all of that stuff. And the extra money that we got, we could like create more content. And from the validators, obviously, we could create more content and even make some courses or etc. for Portuguese people, trying to promote even further and further. It became that's how Tedcrypto and our connection with the validators and etc. We entered the validator world, we didn't actually. But then we diverted from our initial path and our initial goals. So basically, we are not just focused on Portuguese people now. We are more like open, and we are basically trying to support as many people as we can as a community, and contributing as much as we can to Cosmos.
I see. So yeah, and like helping people understand and encourage people to get into cryptocurrency. That's what I'm all about as well. I'm really into helping people really understand the Cosmos in a really simplified manner, because there is a lot of great tools being developed, but it's very developer centric. And I feel like a lot of the developers aren't able to really help the average person walking down the street understand the value they're creating in the Cosmos. And they are creating a lot of value, you know, with the fast transaction speeds, the interoperability. Like it's a wonderful piece of tech, but not enough people truly understand why I personally believe it's a game changer in relation to, you know, its competition. So yeah, I can fully understand why you would, you know, hone in on the Cosmos, and also would want to educate people as well. I have a very similar goal with you in that regard. As for your validation, then, well, let's start with the name. Why would you? What do you mean by Tedcrypto? Where did that name come from? I'm assuming your name isn't Ted, it's Josh.
Yeah, so basically Ted, I have a son. My son's name is Edmundo, and my cousin name is Tiago. So it's a combination of both names. It's T from Tiago and Ed from Edmundo, Ted, which also resembles the Ted the movie. which I kind of like it. So, and I actually use it as the little bear emoji on my validator name. But basically, it's just a word play.
Something that means something to you. I mean, that's important, isn't it? It's got to mean something. All right, so that's the next thing I want to ask then is, well, let me take I really want to ask about your lottery giveaway, but we'll move up. We've got a list of questions and we'll get through step by step. How about that? All right, so we looked at why the Cosmos. Now, what's a good number of validators per blockchain? So if we're on the Evmos, for example, what would you say is a good number of validators to have on there, and why?
That's hard to answer, but basically, I think it comes down to so the less validators that you have, the faster that you can create a block. The faster you can reach the consensus. I think is like you have to play with the data that you have. Obviously, the more validators that you have, the better, because you are decentralizing it further. But obviously, that's going to impact the speed that you mentioned on Cosmos was really fast, and to reach that consensus, then is going to take a little more time. And it's not something that you really want. So I don't know. I would say probably for some chains 100 is fine. For some other chains 150 is fine. Okay. I know that Atom is currently at 175. And I know that we are going to speak a little after, but and with the interchain security thing, is actually going to majority of the chains are going to have 175, which is the one that comes from Cosmos. So,
okay, so there's a classic trade-off between decentralization, where you have more validators and therefore a split percentage of kind of ownership of, well, not really ownership of, delegations of tokens, and therefore that influences the vote of the validator if the delegator doesn't vote. So the more individual delegators that the more individual validators you have, the more dispersed the voting will be, and therefore more decentralized. That's the logic. But however, the more that you have in terms of validators, the slower the production of blocks would be. Now, the question is, how, technology-wise, is there a way to have the best of both worlds, where you have more validators but faster speeds as well? How much infrastructure would that require for that to happen?
That's a good question. I don't think right now, the way that the consensus on Cosmos SDK works, etc., I think is already really good, because we are talking about seconds. So I don't think you can get any better than that. And I never thought on that on the past, to be honest, but I'm not quite sure you could get any better than that. So
Harmony has managed 2-second finality, hasn't it? The Harmony network, but I believe that is based on quite heavy centralization. I don't think there's as many validators on there. I need to check that. But yeah, 2-second finality is one of their main selling points. So there is hope for the future that this 6 or 7-second finality in the Cosmos could be kind of reduced, which would be lovely.
Yeah,
especially for gaming.
I know that Evmos. I just read some message today, and they were reducing the blocks times creations. But again, yeah, I would need to read it again. But I think they are able to, by governance and proposal and parameters, to reduce the blocks seconds they needed to. And this comes up because Evmos has been like a very slow when creating blocks, and they have like massive blocks with a lot of transactions inside, so they could actually afford having smaller blocks with small transactions inside. And I think it was fine, but there was like a discussion there in the Discord, but I would need to pick that up again.
So they're going to use the vote process to try and refine it, and that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, speed is very, very important.
Yeah, so they basically are going to increase the gas prices. Was something that, for example, Tedcrypto voted. So we agreed. I think right now it's really cheap to create a transaction there, and there was a lot of bots spamming the chain and creating a lot of these transactions, and that's one of the problems. So for the congestion of the network, but yeah, I can't remember now.
No, I've seen that. That was a huge problem for Harmony, actually. Their transaction fees were so cheap, like 0.00x Harmony, and then so many bots were using arbitrage or just, shaving like 0.01 every time through a transaction. And then, they had to say, we've got to stop this. It's, blocking up the chain. We've got to increase transaction fees by like 10 to 40 times just to stop the bots from doing that. So yeah, that is one sad, unfortunate issue. Like when you actually do manage to achieve super high speeds at super low costs, that's when the bots come in and really crack on the network. So yeah, there's going to have to be like a really huge amount of resources that are going to be able to take that level of transactions consistently in the future going forward.
But yeah, it's still going to be a lot cheaper. I think it's like we are talking about really small fee. Something like massive
which is what we want. Yeah, we want zero fees, really. That's, Visa style if we want to compete. All right, moving forward then. So looking at these networks like Evmos, I've noticed that there is more than 5% voting rights for Disperse and Orbital Apes. Now, for these validators, where do you think that their maximum... Do you think they should have a maximum voting right, e.g. 5%? Or do you think it should fall to the free market and they should be wherever the free market place them?
I'm not quite sure. I think before we got to that point, I think the validators and the blockchains, etc., I think we need to basically... instruct people how to do the delegations, because I see even delegations to Binance and Cranko, etc. Some exchanges validators there in the blockchain, like Atom, etc. And I think we should probably just tell people to not delegate with those people and choose private ones. And yeah, then you have Orbital Apes and Disperse. So Orbital Apes is very famous now and is getting like a lot of attention on Twitter, etc. when it comes, because they try to promote their validator basically by giving NFTs and airdropping some of their tokens, etc. And obviously those kind of practices is promoting centralization. Obviously, people will want that token for free, so they will delegate with them.
Right. Sorry to interrupt. This is a really interesting point that I'm quite interested in. Now, as an economist, I believe in the free market and free market policies, right? So, for example, if one validator like Orbital Apes says, all right, we're going to offer you this product. Not only are we going to offer low commissions, we're going to offer you extra benefits and bonuses for staking with us. Now that increases competition, and it forces commissions down. It forces other people to step up their game, step up whatever skill set they can bring to the table. How do you feel about that? Because it has actually caused quite a bit of controversy in the Cosmos recently, particularly among validators.
So, from my understanding, Orbital Apes is actually helping on decentralization. So they actually promoted that way. And now they got like the very high rank. And they are also delegating on small validators. Orbital Apes has actually helped Tedcrypto. I think they delegated around 10K on Tedcrypto, which is amazing.
Oh wow!
So as long as they are like conscious and they realize I'm too big now and I need to help the network by delegating with the other validators, etc. I think it's okay. Obviously, there are kind of things that you are trying to. If you're going to give like NFTs, etc., like a free market and all that stuff. You could probably do that without having to ask people to forcefully delegate with you, and on the premise that in a month's time or 2 months' time you are going to get an NFT. I don't know. It's a hard topic. I know that. As a Tedcrypto, I actually had a sort of this idea in the past where we would create our own token and we would provide that token to and airdrop it on the very beginning as part of a Tedcrypto DAO, like Cleomedes did back then. But then I saw Cleomedes doing it, and it was very disruptive to the whole network. Like you could see like a lot of tokens being assigned to him and to them actually, and they were not even known. Like was insane. Like these validators just pop up and said like promise an airdrop, and like everyone wanted that airdrop because it was like an airdrop hype, and everyone was like validating, putting their tokens with him, and they were like jumping so high on the blockchains. They didn't get to the top of the chains, but you could see that there would be a problem if they were like on the very beginning as part of even a Genesis, and they would do this kind of behavior. They would be very disruptive to the whole network, and if you hold too much power, it becomes a problem. So again, I think the delegators needs to be really aware. Like probably you don't need to put a lot of tokens with Orbital Apes just to get their airdrop. Maybe just some of them. Orbital Apes need to be also very mindful of what they are doing, but maybe they should get to a point they say like, I'm being too disruptive to the network. We will not accept any other further delegations for the airdrop. We're like whoever delegated with us until this point will get the airdrop. All future delegations will not get the airdrop, that would be like very healthy, and I would like, bravo. But it's not that they didn't do that, but I spoke with them, and they are actually very mindful of decentralization, and they actually gave us some tokens, and we actually, thanks to Orbital Apes and Friends Validator, which also gave us some of the tokens, we were actually able to push our node up on Evmos. So yeah,
Great. I mean,
I think
go on.
I think it's hard to say. I lost the camera, lost focus there. Okay, I think it's hard to say anything like free market, etc. We just need to be really mindful as delegators and validators what that means to the blockchain.
There are some, counter arguments where, like, even if they have a large percentage of, commander voting because of all the delegators, really, if the delegators took control and actually voted like they did on the Juno network, where you have over a 95% turnout, it doesn't really matter what the validator thinks or votes, because the validator's vote only counts over the delegator if the delegator doesn't take part in the voting process. So, I mean, there is an argument there that, like, they should take responsibility for it, or at least agree with the ideology of the validator that they are delegating to, So there is that. But also, I would say that there's a general concept that organizations mostly have a profit motive and not really a social motive, unless they're governments. However, for Orbital Apes to, give you some tokens to help you get you on the system, they don't need to do that. And that's very commendable in a way. Yes, it's like the lion giving a slice of the zebra to a new validator, but still, it's I'll take it. It's generous.
Yeah, definitely. I think that they did the right thing there, and I don't think I was the only validator getting those shank. According to the person that I was talking to, which was Mr. Sir from Orbital Apes. They actually, I think they got to 200K of tokens delegated across multiple validators. We got 10K, and I basically had to sold Tedcrypto to him. Basically, I said like what we could bring to Cosmos, my contributions to Cosmos till then, and I think he just saw like, okay, you guys have potential, and you are doing the right thing, and you are adding stuff to the Cosmos, so we are going to give you 10K, which was nice.
That's actually one of my next questions. What is it that you are thinking of contributing to the Cosmos down the line?
What I've been doing until now, I've basically created the TED Lotto, the application that for our delegators. They basically get tokens for free. It's really fun. And I created a bunch of scripts for validators. The delegators don't really see these, but there are some of scripts that again, that we draw the commissions and stake it again, or send to a wallet that is not the validator wallet. If you are if you are running a node without like Ledger or anything like that, and you are very conscious about security, and you want to send those tokens to a wallet to be just secure, but they are your own wallet, for example. And then my main goal, and it was like would be like the best application for me would be trying to, for example, we have Mintscan.io. There is a lot of data that is being indexed there, and I would want to create like an open source data provider that basically give that data in a normalized way, so other developers and other applications could easily create applications for Cosmos. So right now is a little of a mess, because it's like there's a lot of blockchains and it's not, the data is not really indexed, so you don't really know what is happening with a specific wallet, and unless you actually go into the blockchain and ask like for the majority of the blocks and what they are doing with those blocks, etc. And you could like index it on your own and like output that result to the user. But again, it's really complicated. So what I was thinking is about basically indexing that information, indexing the blockchain, and provide a very nice data that you could easily query and create applications around it, etc. So that would be like my life goal on a Cosmos, I would say.
Sounds great. So, I mean, improving data indexation is never a bad thing. It's complicated, but it's incredibly useful. And I'm sure a lot of validators would benefit from that kind of information, and users alike. Indexation is complicated, but a very fruitful pursuit. So it's great that you're wanting to add to the Cosmos. And I feel like a lot of developers feel very it's kind of quite an altruistic society in many ways, where people are genuinely trying to help it grow and expand because they see the base nature of it. It is a great piece of tech, and it has like limitless potential, especially with people coming in like yourself and helping it out and helping it grow and expand and develop. So moving forward then, can you show me a little bit more about this lottery giveaway? You're welcome to share the screen. Give me and everybody else a little rundown of what kind of benefit they get from delegating to you, and how this kind of lottery system works, how the numbers work, and how they can claim their prizes.
Yep. So there is lotto.tedcrypto.io, and basically this is the dashboard of Lotto. There is the 3 chains that are currently running Lotto on. So again, those values, it's probably tokens that me and my friend from Tedcrypto, we basically invested on. And now they are being, basically we are taking a chunk of our rewards, and we're putting on this jackpot wallet. That's what we call it. The jackpot wallet, and our delegators basically can actually grab this amount of tokens. But participating is really easy. It's just like going to the participating here, and I'm actually connected here. Let's go to one that isn't. So basically you click on participate, and then you connect your wallet, and then it's the reloads page, and basically share it. This is my stake on Cerberus, which is massive.
Yeah.
And then I have 69 tickets. So based on the amount of your stake, we are going to give you a ticket. So here I can actually remember. So basically on our documentations, if you go into the price details, it explains in more detail that Lotto. But if you go to docs.tedcrypto.io, you will see that for each blockchain there is a ticket price of basically the amount of tokens that you need to delegate to receive a ticket.
Yep.
And then you have like the minimum prices. So a copper minimum price would be like when you get one number correctly, and 2 numbers or more is going to give you the minimum price, which is 0.5, which is around $1.
Yep.
And then you have the same things for the other blockchains that we are currently running.
So ultimately, as the delegations increase, the chance of winning is higher, and the amount people will be able to win will increase as people delegate to you. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. So basically, there is the initial investment that crypto had to do. So we bought a lot of tokens, we put it on this jackpot wallet, and we ask our delegators if you wanted to participate, basically connect to lotto.tedcrypto.io, connect your wallet. This is going to basically tell the whole system that about your wallet and that you want to participate. And after that, you don't have to do anything else. It basically, your tickets are going to be automatically generated, which you can see here on tickets.
So you still need to click get tickets though, right? You have to click that for it to function. Is that right?
No. There's basically as soon as you connect your wallet, I'm going to check if you have any delegations with us. If you do, I'm going to create you the tickets.
Okay.
And you don't have to do anything else. So you are now eligible to the lotto draws that we'll do. Does it make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. So, all right. So imagine that you match some of these tickets. How will you know that you've won, and how will the tokens be delegated? Is all of this automatic? Do you get a flash?
Yeah. So you go to the prizes here. This is my prizes from my delegations. So I didn't got any on the beginning. Then I got a couple. There were weeks better than the others, and you see it gets better and better over the time, because I also get this, and you can see the details here. So those were the tickets that got me the prize. So I got two here, and 215.
So it's automatically sent to the wallet then, is it, once it's matched?
No. So basically, you would get a button showing here saying to claim it. You need to press it. This is basically, I could completely automate it, but I do want people to be involved and see how much they got, and to participate on other chains, to see the other chains that will probably bring Ted Lotto in. And in the future, I'm going to give people the possibility to connect Twitter or Discord or Telegram username, and I will be able to send them a direct message saying you want something, and go and claim your prize. But basically, I want people to get involved as well.
Great. Sounds like a great innovation on the Cosmos. Yeah, I've already switched some of my Evmos delegation to you, so I'll definitely be having a play around with this and seeing what I can win, hopefully.
So I basically I got some couple of tickets actually that there was the 12 number. So basically, yeah, there is the initial investment that the crypto needs to do to the initial jackpot, and after that, with the delegations, with the help of the community and the delegations that people are going to put out on Tedcrypto, I'm going to grab a very nice chunk of the rewards of our validator and basically put it on the jackpot wallet, and this is going to keep bigger and bigger. Also, this wallet is also staking on our validator. And so we can actually secure the network further. And this wallet is also going to generate some rewards in return. Basically, it's going to growing and growing. So right now, the whole jackpot is like 2,060.45.
Oh, nice.
It was already even more than this. When we actually bought it, we bought 3K worth of tokens to the initial jackpot, but obviously the price went down, and so did the jackpot. But if the price goes up, then the jackpot is going to be up as well. So.
Wow, it looks really cool. So thanks for introducing that to everybody and myself. I'll definitely be having a play with that. All right then, let's get to the user questions now from both Reddit and from Twitter. So I'll start with the questions I got from Twitter. So the first one is from Eric, and Eric said Eric basically asked for a little guide on how to become a validator. Just a quick little insight. I know you talked about this at the start. If Eric wanted to become a validator, what would be the basic few steps he would need to accomplish?
So there are different types of validators. There is the archival nodes that will basically have all the historic blockchain data. For that node, you probably have to find a server that actually have a lot of space available. Then there is the usual normal validator node that will basically keep just the last, I would say, 100 blocks and keep pruning, removing the old ones, so it doesn't occupy too much space. And then there is the data node. Data node is basically nodes that you can query and etc. They are probably prepared more network-wise. For someone that doesn't have any experience, I would say just like having a VPS server. Well, first you need to find the requirements of running a node. Some of the nodes are going to require a massive power of CPU and RAM.
Where would you find those requirements?
Usually on the documentation of the blockchain. Okay. All of them actually have the documentations regarding, and they would like saying the minimum requirement hardware. So you would need to find those ones, and then you would need to buy or rent a server that actually met those conditions, or you couldn't use your own machine, to be honest, if you want just to try it out. And basically you just start it. This is overlooking the security and etc. and availability and uptimes, etc. Obviously, it's not as easy as just like, I want to run a node. Let's grab the
right. Yeah. So
grab the thing
find out the specific details find out the requirements. Basically, match the requirements. Have your own initial investment. Get enough tokens to get in the top 100 or the top 50. And then get cracking and see what you can do.
Okay, yeah. I didn't. If you want to be on the active set, you also need the investment part. But if you just run one, because you don't need to be on the active set to run a validator. Again, there are different types of nodes. There are people that are, for example, Paul Cashew, the validator. He is actually. I imagine that he has like hundreds. I would not say hundreds, but I would say like 5 or 6 nodes just running, and basically one of the nodes would be basically handling queries. The other one would be basically for archival and creating backups and snapshots. And you see, there's a plenty of use cases that you can use your own validator on. You don't really need to be on the active set, but if you want to participate on consensus, etc., then yeah, you need the investment as well. You need the tokens.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for that. All right, let's move on then to the next question from Fly High Quality on Twitter. He asks, will Evmos be one of the big players when you look at the science? Well, I know that you're already invested in it, as am I, so I think we're both quite positive about this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I think they have like a very good team, and they're very. I mean, when you see their comments and the way they approach things, even the first issue that it got with the halt, the very first halt, the way they handle things and the communication they would do to the validator. I was not active on that moment, but I was participating on the channels and learning. Obviously, I would take the opportunity to learn, and you could see like their knowledge is really, really, really a lot. So there's a lot of a very good team behind the Evmos, and I'm very bullish when it comes to Evmos. So.
That's a good. I'm actually very bullish on that as well, because of the nature of Solidity and the fact that they can simply port over their Solidity apps. They spent years developing them, literally copy and paste, bang over a good design. Let's see if it works on the Cosmos with fast speeds and interoperability. Very exciting times. I'm very bullish on it as well. So, yeah, great sentiment. All right, let's move down then. So now we're looking at some of the Reddit comments, and the Reddit comments are a little bit more in depth. So, yeah, let's just go ahead. So the first comment is the first question is from Raimo. I'm just going to read it out to you. He said, how do they see the hardware space problem in the future of Cosmos chains? I mean, if they think it's a concern because Cosmos chains will be getting really heavy for nodes in terms of hardware space, and this could lead to more centralization and less validators can afford the hardware. Good question. If you choose this, so can you please let me know what you think about that, about the use of hardware? I know some use AWS, don't they? And some use their own hardware. How do you feel about that?
So it comes back to what I said on the beginning. There is a couple of validators that you can run. One of them, the archive node, would require a massive storage needed for store that much amount of data. But for example, on Tedcrypto, my validators, I'm basically pruning the blockchain data. I'm not keeping all the old historical data. So I don't need too much space. Basically, if a new block comes up, I will remove the bottom ones, and I always keep storage available. So that's not really an issue for new validators or people that want to come in later on. I won't see
a future-proof methodology then.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's well thought to the point of obviously we'll not ask all validators to store that much data that is probably not needed.
All right, then. Next question from Valdorf. He said he's always interested in the weaknesses. If the top few validators, enough to be 33%, disappeared, what options would the remaining validators have to restart the chain?
I think that's a good question. I think as soon as one validator leaves, others validators on the chain are going to try and pop in and replace the one that got kicked. I think it's like osmosis. So basically, what they did with osmosis halting the chain, they actually had to stop a lot of validators at the same time. When you come to think about it, it's really hard for that to happen. You basically have a motive behind it, like osmosis. So the osmosis that would found the bug, all validators jumped in the thing, and they just stopped validating the chain, and it obviously didn't get consensus, and the chain halted there. But basically, will that ever happen?
Well, still,
I don't know.
Do you think there would be, this is the next part of the question, do you think there would be an incident where there would have to be forced unbonding? Because people aren't always aware of when their validator gets jailed, Do you think there would have to be a situation at some point where there's a vote and it literally force unbonds and turns them over to a different active validator?
Yeah, so the forceful unbonding only happens when you are jailed permanently, like when you double sign a block. That actually happened on Evmos on the first halt. It actually got a block behind because basically what it happened was it actually came on the postmortem, so I'm going to repeat some information, but basically the chain was trying to upgrade to a new binary, and so the new binary changed, and there was a couple of problems with peers on the validators, so they're trying to connect with each other and trying to reach consensus. And because the validators were not online at that time, or was having some issues with their own validator, the consensus was actually getting really long, and they couldn't get to the consensus really fast. And some of the nodes were losing peers and connections between one and another. And I think that's all due to the validators thinking that they were the problem, so they were trying to fix it, shutting it down, turning on again, and then it didn't help the whole thing. And what happened was basically some of the validators had signed a block for the consensus. Then they were "Oh, this is not going forward. I'm gonna take my validator down. I'm gonna reset, which is unsafe reset all, which basically deletes all the data on the blockchain, and including a file that saves the state of the blocks that you already signed." And it was people didn't know about that. Validators didn't know about that, or a couple of validators didn't know about that. And they basically they state sync there's a node again, and they brought it up online. And that validator was trying to sign the same block, so it signed it twice. And what happened was basically you are jailed. You double signed the thing, so you are jailed. And it was not just one validator; it was a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you could see like a lot of validators going to jail section on the chain, and when that happens, the delegations for that validator, they basically get undelegated, unbounding, and everything's like starts unbounding, and there is no way to recover that. So that at that point, Evmos team said like, okay, let's pause the whole thing, and let's test this upgrade on a test net, and we would need to release another fork of that chain, but with one block behind, so the jail validators would come back online again, and because otherwise they would not be able to get back to where they were before.
Makes perfect sense. Impossible. So yeah, they went one block behind. Yeah, because there was a lot of controversy at that point in time, because obviously people were making massive gains. Now, there was a dodgy way to get access to your airdrop early and stake it early. I waited until the Medium article came out explaining it. The Medium article was actually very complicated, but I hit it on the day it came out, managed to claim 80% of it and stake it. So I managed to benefit from great rewards for 2 days, I think, like a couple of 1,000% rewards. And then other people were getting like 7,000% rewards and stuff because they did it the dodgy way. And then all of a sudden the chain got halted for 2 to 3 months. Now it's finally back on again, and the rewards are still really good because I think a lot of people have got out the system, haven't they? And like a lot of people have, the market's crashed. They don't even want to look at the market. They're not claiming their Evmos. They don't realize the value of it. Like, it's creating huge gains for people that are actually like staking right now, and a lot of people don't realize it.
Yeah, I actually, when you speak about dodgy thing, I did the dodgy thing, and I actually made a video explaining, you could do the dodgy thing. So I think basically I find it really interesting when you create like a blockchain, etc., and you are really not dependable on the UI of that blockchain. You can actually unlock the rewards doing things on a much more lower level. So basically, it was really interesting as well because you would learn how to actually do bridges between osmosis and Evmos without using UI completely. You could use it using Kepler. And learning about channels and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. The Medium article even said to use that channel. Like, that was what surprised me. I thought I could trust the Medium article, but I might have ended up doing the dodgy thing as well. Well, anyway.
Yeah, we all learned about it. It's just a couple. I just got a couple of from that. Well, it was definitely money, but
yeah, 1 or 200, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, as for the next question, then, that was a really good answer. I enjoyed that one. All right, is anybody building a full Cosmos ecosystem CSV transactional support service? Basically, Mintscan CSV support equivalent. So, like stake tax and Apollo export are inaccurate according to Big Shooter, and he wants something, I guess, that he can just show to the taxman and get it all sorted out really easily.
Yeah. So definitely, I think I'm not. I would just say that I think Celestia is going to be really great on that. It's a blockchain that is going to basically aggregate data, and I think it's going to be a very nice, and there is a very nice use cases for them. But basically, what I was trying to say as my life goal on Cosmos, having that public open source data indexing, etc., would allow everyone with tax knowledge to basically query the data that comes from us and create like nice reports that you could basically send to tax companies.
Based on indexing. Yeah, that would be wonderful. All right, so there is already a platform in development for that, and your future contribution might even be a step forward for helping that process.
Yeah, basically, if you index the data and you provide that data very nicely, everything that comes to taxing and wallet explorers, it's like you can create Mintscan from just the data that I'm sending you. So that's amazing, isn't it? Like Mintscan is like a massive indexing protocols behind, and I basically want to do that. So you would be able to create Mintscan without knowing anything about blockchains. Just like, I want information about this wallet, and I would give you like the information about that wallet from from all the sources, what happened, etc. Because everything very tidy and icy.
Right, yeah, you can select the data, put it into the right columns, convert it to CSV, whip that onto Microsoft Excel, all calculations automatically done. Bing, bang, bosh, that's your tax magic. I fully concur with that future. Beautiful future.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have a look at the next one then. All right, so the next one is from Molebat. I love the names on Reddit, Molebat. All right, so this is the final question of the day. He says he's curious about how validators see interchain security. So what he means is that validators would be required to spin up a new node for each chain renting security from them. So he foresees a growing burden, upkeep costs, personnel expenses, etc., and higher barriers to entry for new validators. Is this sustainable, or would it alienate potential new validators? What can be done to alleviate this potential burden?
Yeah, so basically that's actually an issue for new validators. So basically what they are trying to do is basically whoever is validating on Atom, they would validate all the other chains. And currently on Atom, I just checked a couple hours ago, it would, for me to achieve the active set, I would need to invest around $200K of dollars. Yeah, just to be valid, which is what they are trying to sell. Basically, is the security of the chain is basically because it's not really easy for a new validator to jump in and do dodgy stuff on the Cosmos hub.
It makes sense. Taking your own, yes.
So that's part of the whole thing. But for new validators, I'm hoping to get there. Hoping before September would be ideal, so I could actually get on the very beginning of the interchain security. But for the new validators, like myself, etc., is going to be game over basically, because it's going to be from here. It only gets worse unless Cosmos Hub increases that validator set, and obviously by increasing it, it also disperses the investment that you need to do, and obviously the last places are going to have less tokens delegated on, and you could join at that time, but yeah, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie. So it's going to be really hard for new validators to come in. When it comes to the investments and all spinning a new node, etc., I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem, mostly because validators are going to earn with that. So a portion of the fees are going to be paid on Atom when it comes to. So if a new chain wants to use Cosmos Hub security feature, they basically have to put together a proposal on Cosmos Hub. Once accepted, the validators are going to basically the whole thing creates a Genesis file. The other chain is going to start. The validators are basically going to be copied into the new blockchain. They are going to be the Cosmos Hub is going to be these new chain validators, and they are going to earn a percentage of those rewards. I'm not sure which percentage it was. I think it's going to be 25, 20, 25, 75. I think so. They would get 25% of yeah, and for Atom, they would actually get paid by fees. So all the fees were going to be in Atoms. So that's very nice as well. So they are like they would definitely earn the money for all the trouble, and they would easily be able to scale and increase their team and their validators and their nodes, their servers with these chains as well. So as more chains as you have in the security, in the interchain security, the more fees you are going to get, the more rewards you are going to get. So yeah, so I guess it's not really a problem, is it? Like the more money you make, like you could easily hire someone and grow your team. So that's going to be interesting for the people, the validators that are actually validating the active set. When it comes to the new validators, I guess it's a little of a game over.
Wow, it's interesting. I wonder what they can do to alleviate that situation in the future, as Molebat suggested.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw some comments, and probably right now the first variation, the first model, the first version is going to work like that. I think on future versions it might be able to for the proposal to actually have some validators that is going to validate that chain. So like specifying the validators from Cosmos Hub that will validate that chain. I'm not, but again, it's very greeny at the time. So I'm not sure if you are going to be able to select an inactive validator to validate your chain. But then we are going to talk like this. This is probably a version that it will come at best like later in 2023 or something like that.
Well, and also it depends how many people decide to delegate to Atom in the long run as well. I mean, this is kind of what many people see as a saving grace for Atom because, you know, it is an inflationary token and there's a lot of arguments that its use case is diminishing. And this is one way to kind of revive its use case, hopefully in combination with reduced inflation rewards. I think Atom could, you know, do quite well, but I mean that's yet to be seen. Interchain security is one of the next best big things coming to the Cosmos, as is interfluid staking on Osmosis. You know, that's another layer of complexity in itself when you're going to be able to put your tokens in liquidity pools and not just stake Osmosis on top of that to gain rewards, but you're going to be able to stake the secondary token as well to gain rewards from that. Obviously, this is going to continue to add extra layers of complexity for validators in the field, and it means that validators are really going to have to keep on top of their game and keep learning new stuff, and that might push out validators that don't. And I'm not sure whether that's a good or a bad thing, because it might lead to less decentralization, more centralization, but that's yet to be seen, and the way these issues will be alleviated are yet to be seen as well. So it is a interesting future in front of us, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm definitely very bullish with Atom. So, and the whole security thing. As a delegator and as an investor on Atom, I'm very bullish. As a validator, I'm like I'm hoping to catch the boat before it actually
sails
sailing.
away.
So,
yeah, while the price is low. Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. I've been racking up my Atom this past couple of months. And I am still dollar cost averaging into everything because personally I believe in the longevity of the Cosmos. If it goes to zero, yeah, I've sacrificed a portion of my investment, but I don't see it going that way. I see a very bright future with excellent tech. So yeah, it's been wonderful talking to you today, and I really thank you for taking the time to come and answer all these questions from everybody. Is there anything you want to say right at the end before we wrap this up?
No, not really. I would say probably I would like to thank you for having me. And this is the second interview that I do in English. And I guess thank you to all the support that Tedcrypto has been receiving lately from community delegators and I guess validators as well. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's very good meeting you, mate. Have a good day. See you later.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.